Good afternoon. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we have another daytime quality check for you, and we're going to be checking out the Model 3. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So all right, we have this beautiful black Model 3, and these are the wheels that come with all standard Model 3s. These are the standard wheels, and they're actually underneath your Aero wheels, and they actually look pretty much better than your Aero wheels. But the only thing is you're going to sacrifice a little bit of distance, maybe a few kilometers or a few miles, due to the fact that the Aero wheels are built to provide you with the longest range. So this is the black Model 3. And remember, if you're getting a black Model 3, and due to the fact that the black reveals swirl marks, you might consider getting paint protection film. It will protect your vehicle from swirl marks and scratches. So I strongly recommend. But paint protection film, it's also going to cost you a pretty penny. It's about $4,000. So it's expensive, but it will protect your vehicle. If you can't afford to do that, at least do the front of the vehicle on the front bumper. So let's continue on to do a quality check. And a quality check is going to check out the build quality of this current Model 3, because we want to know the Tesla's overall trend. Is it getting better or is it getting worse? So taking a look at the left side here, so far so good. And then onto the right side, so far so good. And these are just dropped off from the Fremont factory. And let's continue on here. And let's take a look over here. It's all wrapped up, ready to go. And let's do the door test to see if it's flush. So this door actually sticks out a little bit, but it's really minor. And let's move on to the rear. And it is fine. So I will say that gap is nice and thin, and that's what we want to see. So definitely, I like this Model 3. Taking a look at the right side, and with the Model 3s, you will find a paint defect, but on this black, it's basically invincible. But it's most noticeable on the white. But I've heard, and I've actually seen, that Tesla has started to fix it, that mark. They're basically doing a touch-up paint at that mark. But I'll try and see if I can find it on another Model 3. But as far as this Model 3, I'm definitely going to say that this is a pass. Let's move on to another Model 3. Okay, so luckily we have a white Model 3, and let's see if we can find the paint defect. So now let's take a look over here. Taking a look at the left side. Taking a look at the bumper. Taking a look at the hood. So far so good. Taking a look over here on the right side. So far so good. And let's take a look over here at the wheels. Then onto the driver's side door. Want to make sure that each panel is as tight as possible and the gap is minimal. So there's the interior of this brand new Model 3. Let's see if it's flush, and it is flush. Definitely like that, and it is flush. So the gap is nice and tight, and that's what we want to see. So definitely like this Model 3 so far. Taking a look at the right side, and the right side's good. Okay, so the paint defect that I was talking about, it's this right here. So if you look closely right here, and you look right here, you'll see a little bit of a paint defect or a paint chip. Yeah, and I think it's something that's coming from the Fremont factory. So make sure that if you're getting the vehicle, to check to see if that mark is there. And if it is, ask them to touch it up. So let's check the passenger rear to see if it's flush. And it is flush. And it is flush. So even though it has this paint defect, I still will be passing this Model 3. The paint defect is really minor and something that shouldn't cause you to reject the vehicle. You'll barely notice it, and it's in a spot that nobody can really see it. So let's move on to our final Model 3. All right, so this is our final Model 3, and it has these upgraded wheels, and if you were to powder coat them, they look phenomenal. So let's taking a look at the left side, taking a look at the hood, and then moving on to the right side, onto the driver's side. So far so good. And let's see this gap over here. It is a little bit big here. I would say that the gap is a little big, and you see as it goes big, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I would like to see that the gap remains consistent. So maybe it would require a little bit of an adjustment. Now let's take a look at the interior. And remember, after you've done a thorough check of the exterior, that's when you want to move into the interior. You want to check the seat. You want to check the steering wheel. You want to check the center console. You want to check the glove box, that everything is functional. You want to check the software, that it moves fast. After you've done a thorough check of the exterior, that's when you want to move into the, after you want to check the front, you want to move into the back. And the back, check both seats. Check underneath the seats to see if it's okay and that there's no scratches. Then after that, check the rear. So far so good. Now let's check this gap. Okay, so this gap's a little bit bigger than the other Model 3s, but it's not bad. It's still good. It's still acceptable. So taking a look over here. Now looking at the rear, left side and the right side. Now taking a look at the back, and the paint defect, it's there, but it's not visible because it's gray, and the marks are basically the same color. So you can't really see the paint defect like you would see it on the white. It most stands out on the white. But okay, so this door pokes out a little bit, but I also will be passing this Model 3. So we've gotten a chance to take a look at three Model 3s, and they seem to be headed in the right direction. So I would say that my concern is with the Model Y and not the Model 3. The only thing that right now seems to be common with the Model 3 is the paint defect. So if you're thinking about taking delivery, remember, do yourselves a quality check. Do yourself due diligence. Make sure to check your vehicle before accepting. Do not just accept your vehicle without doing a full check. All right, so that's all I gotta say. So thank you and have a nice day.
Hey, would you like to win a Tesla Model 3? All you have to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. And one lucky subscriber will win a Tesla Model 3.